Good evening. Welcome to this special program on BBB Channel 12. Tonight we've invited candidates for the Republican primary for the state legislature. We have invited road superintendent candidates and property assessor candidates for Roane County. Our format tonight will be 2 minutes for opening statement, 2 minutes for each question, of which there will be 3, and 2 minutes for closing remarks. The candidates have drawn numbers to see who would go first in the order of participation. We hope this forum tonight gives you, the voters, an opportunity to better get an insight to the candidates' positions on several key issues. We want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to bring you this forum tonight and invite you to early voting, which starts on July 13th and goes till July 27th. Election Day in Roane County, as in all the counties across the state of Tennessee, will be August the 2nd. So we certainly hope that you will get out and exercise the most precious right, the right to vote. We want to thank the candidates for showing up here tonight and being a part of this BBB political forum. As in any of these forums, obviously, folks are busy, and in some of these races tonight, some of the candidates will not be here. But the candidates that are here, we say thank you for being here with us tonight and for participating in this forum. Our first candidates tonight are for the state legislature, and that is the incumbent Julia Hurley and Kent Calfee. Mr. Calfee has called and indicated that he will be unable to be here tonight, so we will have Representative Julia Hurley here with us tonight. And Representative Hurley, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. Thank you very much.
And with that, we will give Representative Hurley her opening statement remarks.
Well, thank you. I'm very honored. I'm going to first start out by saying welcome everyone in Roane County to this forum, and I very much appreciate you tuning in. BBB TV 12, located in Oak Ridge, serves a great number of people in Roane County, and I'm just honored to be here and honored to be invited. Let me first give a little bit of what's been going on in the last 2 years in the State House of Representatives, just in case there's some things that I've been doing that you don't know about. I do sit on the Government Operations Committee. I sit on the Full Transportation Committee, as well as Senator Yeager sits on the Transportation Committee, as well as your Congressman Chuck Flashman does in Washington. So we do a great deal with the transportation industry in Roane County. I sit also on the subcommittees of government operations for transportation, commerce, labor, and also education, which is a big deal in the state of Tennessee. We'll get more into that later. I have also been appointed to being secretary of the Tennessee Energy Task Force, in which we have brought several different energy solutions to the Roane County area alone, including but not limited to proton power and the solar industries that Wampler's Farm Sausage is now using, as well as being secretary of the Women's Caucus, which has now grown substantially, and we're very honored to reach across the aisle and work a way to get both parties involved in that. So it's a very big honor to be a freshman and to have those leadership positions. Just a real quick summary of what happened in the last 2 years. We've cut over $100 million in taxes. We saved over $1 million alone in less than 2 days just by leaving the legislature early. We cut over 600 people off of the boards and commissions, and what I mean by that is, being on government operations, it is my job to oversee the boards and commissions, and wherever we could cut government expenditure, as a 15-member board could use 9 or 12, that's where we requested that they cut those boards. Within that, we saved over $500 million over the course of a year. We have been able to, on the course of saving the $100 million in taxes, we have also lowered taxes. So we've cut taxes, we've saved money, we've done everything that we can for the future of jobs. Our unemployment rate in Tennessee is some of the lowest in the country as well. But an example of some of the tax cuts we made for you, of course, we're reducing the food tax by 0.25%, which is a huge cut across the board, with a plan to continue to reduce that tax, of course, keeping the Republican conservative legislature that we have in place. We also eliminated the gift tax by January 1st of 2013. What this means is if you own any property or anything along the lines that you would like to gift your children up to $13,000, you can gift that money to them at no tax cost. Also, we have decreased the whole income tax, which decreases the taxes that you have to spend on your investment income, as well as eliminating the death tax to save farmers money. And this is just a few of the things we've done. But that's enough about me. Mr. Berry has some questions to ask me, and I'm sure you're all interested to hear those. So, Mr. Berry, back to you.
Thank you for those opening comments. And our first question concerns economic development. Economic development is always a topic in any race.
Mm-hmm.
How can you, as a state legislator, bring jobs to Roane County, and how do you see your role as an advocate to the Roane Alliance?
Those are very good questions, very good points. I do say that I was the first person to join the Roane County Chamber and the Roane County Alliance here on my first time I picked up a petition here in 2010. No other elected official at this level had done that at that point. I was very proud to be the first. I do work closely with ETEC, East Tennessee Environmental Council here in Oak Ridge itself, to bring energy jobs. I work very well with Energy Solutions. I previously mentioned Proton Power, which is a hydrogen-powered facility. They can use this piece of paper, scrap paper, anything you need, and just turn it into energy. They have gotten their first contract in South Africa. In fact, they are based right here in Roane County, in the Roane County Industrial Park, located off Industrial Park Drive, and I have helped them cut some corners, if you would say, with the EPA regulations, as overregulated as they are. Things like that, getting the red tape out of the way of businesses. On top of that, next year I will be personally sponsoring to relieve businesses and small business owners of the personal privilege tax. And if you're a small business owner out there, you know you have to pay a personal privilege tax just to do business in this state, and I want to try to cut that down. Also, I go back to the death tax, something that large corporations are having to pay, and they're taking their retirement and their companies outside of the state of Tennessee. Right now, the death tax is at $1 million exemption, and there are several, again, large farms, large business owners who have family estates that they just can't afford to pay this 50% tax on that, and they're moving out of here. We are going to eliminate that tax by 2016, and we'd like to keep it that way. That's going to keep people retiring in this state, and that's a very, very warm welcome to people to bring their money here and keep it safe here. On top of course, eliminating the potential to ever have an income tax. We did say that as a caucus this year, as a Republican caucus, that we have put forth an effort to make a constitutional amendment to make it completely illegal to have an income tax, which we did pass. So we look forward to doing that as well. As far as bringing new jobs to Roane County, again, I appreciate that portion of it. I do everything I can with the Roane Alliance. I have been to several meetings with several different business owners. As you can see across the county, we've had 27 new businesses open in just the last year. Yes, a lot of that is retail, not as much manufacturing, but we are working on that as well. Again, Proton Power just built a 40,000 square foot facility, and we'll be hiring people who graduate from the AmTech program at Roane State Community College. I encourage you, if you're interested in that kind of line of work or any industry related with energy, to please attend Roane State Community's AmTech graduate program and see if we can't get you in on a facility there. Also, Energy Solutions is always hiring, as well as Oak Ridge National Laboratories. They have some jobs open as well. But thank you for that question.
Our next question deals with education as well, and the word vouchers has been a part of the education process for a couple of years now. And I think now the Equal Opportunity Act for Scholarships is the new buzzword, I think, in terms of vouchers. What do you think of this concept, and do you think that we're getting close to passing this concept maybe in the next session of the legislature?
Gosh, that's a really good question. You are correct. The Equal Opportunity Scholarship Program is much like a voucher program per se, but it's really more focused on the larger areas, Davidson County, Knox County, and the Memphis County, Shelby County area. Now, Shelby County has already benefited from these programs per se. They've already had these schools going for quite some time. However, for this to go statewide, we would have to approve a voucher program. That is still under works. We have just now approved, a charter school beginning. So that will start, charter schools will start in the Knox County area, which will be the closest to us. I'm not exactly sure how we are going to keep track of implementing these programs statewide. Right now, the Shelby County school system is still being overloaded with children trying to change school systems or take their quote-unquote scholarship monies with them. We're going to find out more about that. They're going to report back to the Education Committee in the latter part of 2013. So if this is a statewide bill, it'll be a few years before it's actually implemented.
Thank you very much. Again, staying with education, as that is one of the critical things that's facing state legislatures and state senators and state government as a whole. The BEP funding for schools is very critical at the local level. What would you do as a legislature to ensure that the Roane County schools and all school districts receive the maximum amount that's possible, and would you be in favor of using state surplus money to move over into the BE funding to make sure that schools get additional funding?
It's a very good question as well, and it's a good point. However, Governor Haslam stated in his inaugural speech that we are going to focus on not only saving money and working with what we have to do, but we're going to have to find a way to cut money and save money as well. Of course, if you'll notice, with the newest passage and the upholding of the Supreme Court of Obamacare, our surplus in this state will go to health care. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I would have potentially been in favor had we had any money left over that could have put Tennessee in a situation to be financially independent for more than 2 to 5 years, but unfortunately $300 million doesn't even meet our budget. So we have got to save more money for our rainy day fund before we can use surplus dollars for anything at all. On top of that, we do fight for the BEP funding to stay how it is. Again, that is a federal drawdown match at sometimes comes from the Federal Education Commission, and we all know that sometimes comes with strings. So we have to be very, very careful. Again, Governor Haslam did a very good job of making sure that we were exempt from the race to the top and we could set our own rules, but with that came a reduction in our money. So we have to be very careful as to how much we will say the BEP will or will not get from year to year. But we did give teachers a raise this year, and we thought that was a necessary thing to do. So we're hoping that in the future those raises can continue and we can continue doing the things we need to do with the money we have.
Thank you very much. And now we will have you give you an opportunity to have your closing statement.
Well, I really appreciate that. And I'll wrap all that up with a great big thank you. And I'm so glad that I was invited to do this, and I'm very honored to be your state representative. And please, if you don't have a copy of my voting record, pick up the new Roane Review. I'm on the back. It has a copy of my voting record just from the last year on it. But we'll go over that one more time, just in case you're not familiar. I did personally pass the drug testing for welfare benefits. Yes, if you are applying for TANF benefits, you will be drug tested for those benefits. And we do believe very fully in that law. It will be enacted in 2014. And I will go back to Nashville with the sake of passing the drug testing for all government employees bill, and hopefully we'll get that one passed as well. We also have a property tax relief for veterans, widows, and widowers. And if you're not familiar with that, please contact my office and we'll get that help for you. We really want to make sure the veterans here are taken care of, and that is one proud bill I have sponsored. We also did the Tennessee voter ID law. Voting starts on July 13th. Please remember to take your photo ID with you to vote. It is imperative that we have legal voters in the state of Tennessee, and I'm very proud to have carried and sponsored that bill. Also, we have high schools being able to fax their vaccination records off to the community colleges to save any enrollment issues you may have, up to 6 weeks postponement in enrollment, which could pose a problem for a child trying to enter college at an earlier age. We also have Roane County has the opportunity to purchase their emergency management properties, such as fire trucks, at the same price that larger counties do, such as Shelby or Hamilton counties. Before, the larger counties were getting a discount on their prices, and I passed a bill that said everyone could purchase at the same price. So we've actually cut quite a bit of money out of the Roane County budget to do that, and I'm very proud to also do that. But again, I just want to say thank you, and that about sums up. We're just cutting taxes, saving money for the state of Tennessee, and I please ask for your vote, again, to re-elect me and send me back to Nashville so I can continue to make conservative choices for Roane County. Thank you very much, and I hope you have an enjoyable afternoon.
Thank you, Representative Hurley. And again, early voting begins on July 13th and runs through the 27th, and Election Day, August the 2nd. We're going to take a commercial break. We will come back, and we will have our next set of candidates right after this.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Roane Metals Group treat you like family.
Roane Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
Patterson's Appliances, Whirlpool and KitchenAid, two of the best and biggest names in appliances. Combine that with a family-owned business like Patterson's that has over 44 years serving the area people. Patterson started with a store in Midtown, added one in Oak Ridge, then Knoxville, and now an outlet store in Rockwood, and you have the best products and service after the sale. KitchenAid and Whirlpool, along with Patterson's, has grown and earned the trust of area people for over 44 years. Yes, Patterson's has the answer, along with Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Genair. That's Patterson's Home Appliance Center.
Big East Quick Mart in Rockwood and Midtown and the Go-Mart in Harriman offer Roane Countyans the cheapest gas in town and some of the coldest beverages around. The Go-Mart is located at 116 South Roane Street in Harriman. Big East Quick Mart in Rockwood is located at 326 North Gateway Avenue. And Big East Quick Mart in Midtown is located at 2843 Roane State Highway.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Is my prescription ready yet?
No. Why don't you try shopping a while? Nope, not yet.
How about now?
Not quite yet.
Now?
Oh, looky here. Now your prescription's ready.
There's got to be a better way.
Leader Pharmacies. No hassle, same copays, better service.
This is better.
Your local Leader drugstores are just around the corner. In Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore is at 225 West Rockwood Street in downtown Rockwood. Call 354-0234. In Harriman, go to Chase Drugs at 319 Roane Street, next to Roane Medical Center. Or try their new location at 1855 Tanner Way in Midtown. Or call 882-2421. Be sure to visit your local Leader drugstores today.
Welcome back to our special programming here of this political forum on Channel 12, BBB Communications, here this evening. Our road superintendent candidates, Jim Beeson, Dennis Ferguson, and Brian Mullins. And Mr. Brian Mullins, the only candidate here with us tonight. So we will be speaking to Mr. Mullins. And again, we will have an opening statement. He'll answer some questions, and we'll have a closing statement. But first, Mr. Mullins, thank you for being here, and we appreciate your interest in our forum here tonight.
Right. Thank you, Ron. I certainly enjoy the invitation. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to communicate with the citizens and the voters of Roane County to express my beliefs and concerns and my abilities and qualifications to be your next Roane County road superintendent. For the past 17 years, I have owned and operated Brian Mullins Excavating Contractors Incorporated, where my main focus has been road building. I've built many subdivisions, county roads, state highway projects. I have managed a quite large budget during that process. I have also been involved in many other larger grading projects that all throughout the East Tennessee area. I've managed as many as 82 employees at one time. I've made a payroll during my business experience, and I have been probably trained on as many estimating and construction processes as any candidate running. I offer a wealth of experience to the voters of Roane County. I intend to help look for any areas that money can be saved and dollars can be stretched, where we can ensure that our roads are kept in a safe and proper manner, and that to help to curtail any type of waste anytime that it arises. I have plans to implement to help save our roads and protect our roadways and to keep them safe for the drivers and occupants of Roane County.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. Our first question, what qualifications beyond the state requirements would make you the best road superintendent for the citizens of Roane County?
One of the main important things that a road superintendent needs to do is to understand the workings of building a road. That starts from the process of laying out, clearing the project, looking at the roads on how they're designed, properly move the cut and fill material, install your drainage, make sure that your drainage works properly, and to be able to take these plans that are submitted by developers or any other project that the county may have that involves road building, understand those plans, be able to come up with a solution to any problem that may arise, and to ensure that any developer who comes into the Roane County area to build a road meets all county specifications when those roads are turned over to the Roane County taxpayers, that they are built in a proper manner to ensure that no additional cost is expanded to any taxpayer for an improperly built road.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mullins. Our next question, as you have assessed current road conditions in Roane County, what plan of action do you propose to implement on September 1st?
The first thing that I would like to do is that we have 645 plus miles of road inside Roane County. There are many, many needs the county has in their roadways today. I intend to take a time period to evaluate these roads and see where we have the needs and which areas are the highest priority for repairs. There are several issues that have been brought to my attention during this campaign about roadways with asphalt that is deteriorating. There's also a issue up the new Dilla Springs Elementary School where there may be a safety issue with some of the school buses with the roadway not being wide enough. I have looked at that. I understand that there is a need up there, and I'd like to work with the commission to try to get some appropriations to ensure that that roadway is brought up to some safety standards or some additional widths.
Okay. Our next question, the county portion of the highway budget is approximately $4 million. What experience do you have managing this size budget, and what plans do you have to increase department efficiency to maximize the money spent?
Well, first of all, the county budget is around $3.5 million. My experience throughout the past 17 years in the grading business, we have had anywhere of a budget anywhere from the amount of $3 to $5 million. I am familiar with handling that amount of money and being able to distribute it properly to see that the work required is completed. Now, one of the areas that I'd like to see changed is we have a vehicle personnel policy that where personnel are allowed to take vehicles home. I think there's about 19 vehicles leave the county garage every day. They go out into an area that many areas in the county, in case there is an emergency arises like a storm or a severe weather event, snow or whatever, to ensure that the response times are cut in half. I'd like to try to develop some sort of a rotation system to have fewer vehicles to go out through the county, but still have the coverage that we need in case one of those events arises.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we would have your closing comments.
This entire campaign has been about qualifications. Qualifications are very important for the road superintendent's position. A road superintendent needs to have the knowledge, and the experience and the capability to run a department the size that Roane County has, to be able to manage the men, to effectively and efficiently spend the money, and to make sure that each employee supplies the taxpayers a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. We need to ensure that our roads are kept up in a proper manner. We need to make sure that the citizens are treated with respect and the courtesy that they deserve. I intend to implement all these programs, and I intend to give the best service possible to the citizens of Roane County if I'm elected the Roane County Road Superintendent.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, we appreciate you being here with us tonight, and again, we would tell you that early voting begins on July 13th through the 27th, and Election Day would be August the 2nd. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Mullins, for being here tonight.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a commercial break. We'll be right back with our property assessor candidates.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Roane Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
Is my prescription ready yet?
No. Why don't you try shopping a while? Nope, not yet.
How about now?
Not quite yet.
Now?
Oh, looky here. Now your prescription's ready.
There's got to be a better way.
Leader Pharmacies. No hassle, same copays, better service.
This is better.
Your local Leader drugstores are just around the corner. In Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore is at 225 West Rockwood Street in downtown Rockwood. Call 354-0234. In Harriman, go to Chase Drugs at 319 Roane Street, next to Roane Medical Center. Or try their new location at 1855 Tanner Way in Midtown. Or call 882-2421. Be sure to visit your local Leader drugstores today. Roane Metals Group, we pay top dollar while you pocket many dollars when you bring your aluminum and scrap metal to Roane Metals Group, located in the industrial park between Rockwood and Harriman. If you want to check the latest prices, just call 354-4282. Roane Metals is easy and fast getting in and out, with local people owning and operating this facility. And they are open on the 2nd and 4th Saturday, as well as Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30 p.m. That's your local Roane Metals Group, 354-4282.
Patterson's Appliances, Whirlpool and KitchenAid, two of the best and biggest names in appliances. Combine that with a family-owned business like Patterson's that has over 44 years serving the area people. Patterson's started with a store in Midtown, added one in Oak Ridge, then Knoxville, and now an outlet store in Rockwood, and you have the best products and service after the sale. KitchenAid and Whirlpool, along with Patterson's, has grown and earned the trust of area people for over 44 years. Yes, Patterson's has the answer, along with Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Genair. That's Patterson's Home Appliance Center.
Big E's Quick Mart in Rockwood and Midtown and the Go-Mart in Harriman offer Roane Countyans the cheapest gas in town and some of the coldest beverages around. The Go-Mart is located at 116 South Roane Street in Harriman. Big E's Quick Mart in Rockwood is located at 326 North Gateway Avenue. And Big E's Quick Mart in Midtown is located at 2843 Roane State Highway.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to our special program here tonight on BBB Communications, Channel 12. Again, our political forum tonight is to help the voters, try to get a little insight into the candidates running for the various offices in Roane County, which early voting beginning July 13th through the 27th. Election Day, August the 2nd. And we're pleased now to have two of the candidates for property assessor with us this evening. We have Mr. David Morgan, Teresa Kirkham, and Stephen Robinette, unable to be here with us tonight, but to you, Mr. Morgan, Ms. Kirkham, we say thanks for being here with us, and thanks for running for public office. That's what we need.
Thank you.
As we drew for order of participation, Mr. Morgan will give his opening statement first. Mr. Morgan?
Sure. I just want to start with saying I'm David Morgan, and I want to be your next property assessor in Roane County. First thing I always say when I begin a speech is I am a Christian and I'm proud of that fact. Second thing I'll tell you about myself is I am a very educated man. I have an industrial engineering degree from the University of Tennessee. I've also got a master's degree in organizational management from Tusculum College. So I am a very educated man. I've worked in engineering, management, and training for the last 20 plus years, mainly in manufacturing and some government work. I do have a lot of good experience, a lot of good skills that will transfer over to the property assessor's office if elected. Basically, why am I running? Well, I'm running because I feel that the people of Roane County deserve fair property assessments. And right now, we honestly just don't have that. And a fair property assessment should be based on fair market value. And I'm a strong believer that a fair property assessment will lead to fair property taxes for everyone. And in a nutshell, that's why I'm running. And if elected as your next property assessor in Roane County, I promise to do the best I can to ensure that we do have fair property assessments in Roane County.
Ms. Kirkham?
I'm Teresa Kirkham, Roane County Property Assessor. I've served in public service for 36 years. 20 of those 36 years, it's been a privilege and honor to serve as your property assessor. I'm running for re-election because I am dedicated to my job, and my staff is also dedicated. We have an open door policy to the taxpayers of Roane County. If you have questions or complaints about your reappraisal or your assessment, we always encourage you to come to the office and talk to us about it. We will take looks at them. But as far as the economy and the economic conditions, in 2010, the Roane County Commission signed a reappraisal plan that expires in 2015. Due to the economy, unfortunately, we cannot go in and lower the assessments overall. If we did, the commission would have to raise your tax rate, and the commission would have to approve it. So if you have high assessments or complaints, I offer you to come to my office, and we will treat you very fairly and very kindly and go over your appraisal with you and even do a field check on it if necessary. I've been on the Tennessee Board of Assessors for 15 years and was very active in passing the laws for tax freeze and tax relief for the elderlies. I have been the president of the Women's Executive in the Harriman Rotary Club and the Rockwood Civitan Club. I'm a member of all the organizations in Roane County that I can to pledge myself to public service. I appreciate the time that I've spent in the Office of Property Assessor, and I would like to ask you for 4 more years in my re-election.
Okay, thank you both very much for the opening statements, and now we will have our first question, and Ms. Kirkham, you will respond to the first question first. The reappraisal done in 2010 created obviously lots of debate. Given the duties and authority of the Office of Property Assessor, give your opinion of the property assessor's duties during the reappraisal process.
The property assessor is mandated by the state of Tennessee to appraise the property at 100% of market value. In 2010, our sales were limited because of the ash spill and different things. The sales of the property were down. We normally have 1,200 to 1,500 sales to qualify property values. Overall, the values had to hit at 100%. The state mandates that. If we had wanted to lower them at the time, the State Board of Equalization would not have let that happen. So my opinion of the reappraisal, we had a lot of work to do after the state mandated reappraisal was filed. We did a lot of changes in a lot of neighborhoods and went in and done we had some 2010 sales to come in, and we reviewed and checked and changed a lot of parcels of property after that.
Okay. Mr. Morgan?
Sure. I'd just like to respond to that by saying the first and primary job of the property assessor for each county is to make sure that every citizen and every property in Roane County is fairly evaluated and given a fair property assessment. And my opponent tries to use the state mandates and the state guidelines as a crutch in getting away from doing that. And I've talked with the state of Tennessee. These are only guidelines. These are only mandates. They're not ultimatums. And if elected as your next property assessor, I'm not going to give excuses on why you don't have fair property assessments. I'm going to be the property assessor, and I'm going to be responsible for the property assessments in Roane County, and I'm going to ensure that they are fair and that they're based on fair market and real data. Thank you.
Okay. And our next question, Mr. Morgan, you will respond first to it. What effect does the value placed on property from the assessor's office have on the county tax rate, and what do you anticipate being the biggest hurdles in the assessor's office before the next reappraisal?
Sure. Well, the first thing, just to describe to the viewers, the formula for computing your property taxes each year is, for residential, for instance, is 25% times the assessed value of the property, which comes from the property assessor's office, multiplied by the county or city tax rate, and that equals the property taxes you pay each year. And of course, if this property assessment is unfairly too high, then you're paying your unfair share amount of taxes. And I'm a firm believer that we need fair property assessments in Roane County, and right now fair is not up here, fair is down here. My opponent has stated last week in debate that she agrees that the property assessments are 30% in value or higher right now, incorrectly unfair. Or should I say they're 30% higher than they should be. And in some cases they're even higher than that. And I just want to get in office and make sure that those values are corrected and fixed, and that everyone in Roane County has fair property values.
Very good.
First of all, they're not mandates and requests by the state of Tennessee. It's a state law how you appraise property. I don't have guidelines. I have guidelines, but they are governed by state law. Second of all, I do know the market is off 30%. I have figured it myself. I have written a letter to Tom Fleming, the director, the assistant director in the comptroller's office, to try to reduce property values 30%, because I do the numbers. I don't set the data in my county. The sales of property set the market. So therefore, if I cut the property assessments 30%, the county commission can come in and raise the property tax rate 30%, which is very unfair to everybody. If individual people that have property appraisal values and questions should come to see us, we can look at those. But overall, it is totally illegal to cut property assessments during the reappraisal cycle. That cannot happen. It's against the law. It's not against a mandate or a guideline or a formula. It's against the law, because nobody would want to cut property values 30% besides me. I'm the one that would love to do that for everybody in the county if it was legal. But if you cut that property tax base 30%, then you're cutting your tax revenue 30%. So you're in turn giving the county commission the question to raise the tax rate 30%. So therefore you have unequal assessments all over the county, and the state law requires you to have 100% equalized assessments. And one other thing I might add, in a reappraisal year, it's not a means of obtaining more revenue. The county cannot obtain more revenue in a reappraisal year than it did the prior year. Before reappraisal, the tax rate in Roane County was almost $5. So if we come in and start cutting reappraisal values, our tax rate could wind up being $5 to $6.
Thank you very much. Our next question, and Ms. Kirkham, you will respond to it first. Explain the property assessor's role in determining the fair value of property in Roane County, and is this method consistent throughout the state?
Yes, sir. The method is consistent throughout the state. The property assessor takes the sales of comparable properties and put them on the map and determines the value of the property in that area. And like I said, in the last reappraisal year, the state did tell us we were about a third of the sales that we normally have to go by. The assessor can adjust and can move those values around after the mandated reappraisal happens. But once that sale of property is on the rolls, that's exactly what sets the value in the market in your area.
Okay. Mr. Morgan?
Can you repeat that question, please, just for a second?
Explain the property assessor's role in determining the fair value of property in Roane County, and is this method consistent throughout the state?
Yes, ma'am. Most of what Ms. Kirkham said is true. It is based on comparable real estate data, and that is pretty consistent around the state. One thing that can be done. I've talked with the state of Tennessee several times in the last few days and weeks, and not all counties use the state formula, the state model. There are about 8 different counties that do not use that. They have their own model. And the bottom line, whatever comes out of that property assessor's office for each county, it needs to be correct. It needs to be based on fair market data and reality. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will have closing statements by the candidates. And Mr. Morgan, your closing statement first.
Again, in conclusion, I just want to say that I'm David Morgan, and I would appreciate your vote for property assessor of Roane County. And I'm a firm believer that Roane County needs fair property assessments, and it needs to be driven by fair market data. And I just want to thank you again for your vote in anticipation. I look forward to working with the other officials of Roane County. Thank you.
Ms. Kirkman?
My slogan is, you can change your face, but you can't change the state law. This is not a position for on-the-job training. We do use fair market value. We do use the correct data. We use every qualified sale, arm's length transaction that comes through the registrar's office. I have a trained and qualified staff that run a professional office. I continue to enjoy meeting the needs of the taxpayers every day. During my term of property assessor, I've accomplished many goals. I've brought Roane County to the one of the highest levels for a rural county assessor's office. I won the Assessor of the Year award for so many accomplishments, and it's an office that we're proud of. My staff and I offer over 150 years of education and training in that office with the expertise, with the listening ear, a common sense approach, and honesty and fairness and good judgment where you are treated with courtesy and respect. And that's the way I run my office. That's the way I'd like to continue to run my office over the next 4 years. And again, reappraisal is set by state guidelines. We do use fair data. We do use common sense approach. And we'll be glad to talk with any taxpayer that has questions about their property values. And I'd like to ask for your vote in the upcoming August election. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, we appreciate both of you being here tonight to share with the viewers your qualifications and your interest in being the next property assessor of Roane County. And again, early voting, July 13th through the 27th. Election Day, August the 2nd. We again would invite you to be sure and get out and vote, whether it's early or on Election Day. Also, we want to thank our sponsors again for allowing us to bring you this forum and this special programming here on BBB Channel 12. Again, thanks to all the candidates for, first of all, running for public office. Secondly, for being here tonight to be a part of this political forum. For all of us here at BBB Communications Channel 12, good night.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Roane Metals, we treat you like family.
Roane Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
Is my prescription ready yet?
No. Why don't you try shopping a while? Nope, not yet.
How about now?
Not quite yet.
Now?
Oh, looky here. Now your prescription's ready.
There's got to be a better way.
Leader Pharmacies. No hassle, same copays, better service.
This is better.
Your local Leader drugstores are just around the corner. In Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore is at 225 West Rockwood Street in downtown Rockwood. Call 354-0234. In Harriman, go to Chase Drugs at 319 Roane Street, next to Roane Medical Center. Or try their new location at 1855 Tanner Way in Midtown. Or call 882-2421. Be sure to visit your local Leader drugstores today.
Patterson's Appliances, Whirlpool and KitchenAid, two of the best and biggest names in appliances. Combine that with a family-owned business like Patterson's that has over 44 years serving the area people. Patterson started with a store in Midtown, added one in Oak Ridge, then Knoxville, and now an outlet store in Rockwood, and you have the best products and service after the sale. KitchenAid and Whirlpool, along with Patterson's, has grown and earned the trust of area people for over 44 years. Yes, Patterson's has the answer, along with Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and JennAir. That's Patterson's Home Appliance Center.
Big E's Quick Mart in Rockwood and Midtown and the Go-Mart in Harriman offer Roane Countyans the cheapest gas in town and some of the coldest beverages around. The Go-Mart is located at 116 South Roane Street in Harriman. Big E's Quick Mart in Rockwood is located at 326 North Gateway Avenue. And Big E's Quick Mart in Midtown is located at 2843 Roane State Highway.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.